Switching gears now, we're going to go into some NASCAR talk, and you can make an argument that this is the biggest story of the year. It's definitely the biggest story of the last 2 weeks, and that is Dale Earnhardt Jr. He suffered a concussion between the time of Kentucky and Daytona, and he missed last week's race at New Hampshire. Alex Bowman replaced him in the number 88 nationwide car, and Dale Jr. All right, so they came out with a press release by Hendrick Motorsports on Wednesday stating that Dale Jr. would not be able to race not only at this Sunday's Indianapolis race, Brickyard 400, but he's also going to miss next weekend's race, which is at Watkins Glen. Now, last week, they announced, or pretty much teased, that if Jr. was not able to drive his vehicle at the upcoming races, that former four-time NASCAR champion, 93 winner, Jeff Gordon would replace him. Now, of course, Jeff Gordon retired, quote-unquote retired, more took a break from racing last year and was very, very consistent in his finishes. He picked up a win at Martinsville in 2015 of that fall. He went into Homestead, which is the series finale, or season finale, I should say, of the NASCAR season. Was in contention for the win. Not only the race, but the championship. Ultimately, it came down to Gordon, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. Kyle Busch not only won the race, but he won the championship as well. Gordon did a very good job in that race. He was very clean. He took some aggressive moves, but at the end of the day, he ran a perfect race. And there was a lot of people, including myself, that thought Jeff Gordon should not be coming back to NASCAR. Not only just because of the performance that he did in 2015, Jeff Gordon is one of these guys that have always been consistent. He's always been a challenger, always been a contender in not only every race, but every season, and for the better part of a championship every year. One of the all-time greatest NASCAR drivers in history. The way he went out, where he was in contention to winning almost every race of last year, picking up a win, but more importantly, he was relevant in NASCAR. A lot of guys that retire, they go on several years of drought of no winning races and not competitive at all, and then they just slowly burn out and then retire. Jeff Gordon was the first guy, arguably, to not do that. He was always relevant, he was always in contention, and now he's coming out of quote-unquote retirement, or however you would want to state that, to drive Dale Jr.'s number 88 car. There's a list of issues I have with this. Not only he's not running the 24, he's not with his crew chief, he's not going to be with his spotter, he's not going to be with his team, he's going to be with Greg Ives and a number 88 Chevrolet on a 2-race stint, possibly. As of right now, it's a 2-year or a 2-race stint, but it could be longer. Ricky Craven was on ESPN this morning stating that, Bristol's coming up and a couple other tracks are coming up, and with a concussion, you really can't run those races because they'll mess with your psychology and your mind. And he has a very, very good point. There's always been speculation that Dale Jr. has not been mentally right in a race car, not only because of the death of his father, but because of concussions. He missed 2 races in 2020 or 2012, excuse me, because of concussions that he sustained at Talladega in a massive wreck. So he has a history of concussions. Not only has he came out and stated that he would donate his brain for research once he passes, but also he's been working with the University of Pittsburgh about concussions, which is one of the most leading universities in concussion studies. So you already have that thought of, oh my, is he going to step out of the car because of concussions? Not only does this affect his career, but it also affects his personal life. He's engaged. He wants kids. You have to think, he's only 41 years of age. He turns 42 later this year. So you have to think of his personal life as well. There's a lot of storylines going in to not only Indianapolis, but Watkins Glen. How will Jeff Gordon perform? Yes, he's the most notable race car driver in Brickyard history. He has the most wins there. He has the most poles there. He has the most lead laps there. There's no doubt that Jeff Gordon is a great race car driver, but coming out of the booth, not only will he be able to perform, that's questionable in itself, but also does this hurt his legacy? Like I said earlier, there's never been a NASCAR driver who has went out on top and stayed out. And Jeff Gordon, as a fan, I say it honestly, it hurts not only his reputation, but it hurts the way that fans will look at his career, because it's only a failure. There's no positive to Jeff Gordon coming out of retirement unless he wins both races. And come on, folks, let's be honest. As a Jeff Gordon fan, I can honestly say he will not win Indianapolis. He will not win at Watkins Glen. It's not going to happen. Most of his success, not only at Watkins Glen, but more importantly, Indianapolis, came in the late 1990s. Sorry. If you look at his stats over the past couple years, not only at Indianapolis, but at Watkins Glen, he's a top 15 to top 20 finishing car, and most importantly, he usually wrecks. It's not a very good positive for Jeff Gordon fans. So we'll see how that enters. I don't like that he's coming out of retirement, but that's his decision, and we have to go with it.